He has entertained audiences all over the world. He's a friend and a delight. Maybe we'll get him up here to say a few words. Mr. Bobby Ramsen, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Bobby. Bobby? There we go. Bobby Ramsen. Let's hear for Bobby Ramsen. You really are no fucking Jew.
See, there was steps you need to use those. There you go, Anton.
Hello, is it on?
How about the Martin Lewis routine?
That's the funniest entrance I've ever had. I just want to, I'll only take a few minutes. I just want to tell you that I'm a friend of the family. Drew's mom and dad, myself, and a couple named Kane, Larry Kane, a former radio actor, a friend of mine who we went to school together at the Professional Children's School. So we've been friends for a long time. And there's one thing that I must say about Drew's dad, a delightful gentleman and an icon of American humor. There was talk about changing names at the time, because when Bruce J. Friedman, when his book started to come out, God bless him, everybody was changing their names at that time. It was the thing to do. And at dinner one night, Bruce said, I'm not going to change my name. And I sort of felt guilty about it, because you'll be able to see, I'm happy to tell you, I'm in the 3rd edition of Drew's book. And I did change my name, but for no other reason than my real name. I couldn't use it, because when I went into show business, my real name was already been used. It had been used. My original name is Helen Hayes. So you can see I had a reason for changing my name. But to be in the company, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Drew is so talented. You're looking at a guy who not only can't get up the first step on a podium, but I also can't draw a straight line with a ruler, as you've heard before. But this is such a talented family. Writing, art, they're a delight to know, and I'm proud to be a friend. And of course, I'm thrilled to be in the book as one of the old Jewish comedians. At one time, just a few years ago, I didn't even know what an old Jewish comedian was, and now I am one. But I'll tell you 1 or 2 stories, and then I have to go. Talking about humor, great American humor, like Bruce J. Friedman, and the artwork of our dear friend Drew. It was Irving S. Cobb, C-O-B-B, one of America's great humorists, and Bruce J. Friedman is in the same class. And Mr. Cobb, whose granddaughter, just a little bit of show business information, if you want to tuck this away, Buff Cobb was Mike Wallace's first wife. I have a feeling that Buff Cobb might be Chris's mom. Is that possible? But anyway, Buff Cobb is. She was on television, and then they divorced, and you all, of course, know Mike Wallace. But in Irvin S. Cobb's book that my mom had in her library forever, and I used to read, he said that humor is like casting bread upon the waters. It comes back to you. Usually with somebody else's name on it, which is very true. But anyway, one quick story, and then I'll turn this back to Stewie. a friend of mine from the old Concord days when there was a Catskills. You have to have a memory for that. But anyway, two Jews meet on the street in Miami. One friend looks at the other and says, "Oh my God," he said, "Irving, I didn't even know you were down here." He said, "Yeah, I came down for a vacation." He said, "Where are you living?" He said, "I'm living Tuesday." One more story and I gotta go. An old Jewish couple who are not comedians, but they go to the doctor. And the doctor's nurse comes out and said, "Mrs. Feinstein, you're next." And she goes in and the husband is waiting outside. And during the examination and in conversation, the doctor says to Mrs. Feinstein, he said, "Let me ask you something, Mrs. Feinstein." This is an elderly Jewish lady. He said, "Do you have intercourse?" And she had a blank look on her face. She said, "Wait a second." And she stuck her head out of the examination room into the waiting room. She said, "Sam, do we have intercourse?" And Sam said, "No, we got Blue Cross, I told you."